Hey YouTubers, it's Charlie. This is going to be my Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. episode 9 video. One more week till the mid-season finale, so just careful for spoilers if you haven't seen the episode yet. If you've been a fan of Joss Whedon shows for a long time, you may have recognized the familiar twist with Coulson and Rosalind's character, but I'm also going to talk a little bit about Kilgrave's character on Jessica Jones when I talk about Ward's character. So starting with top 5 WTF, number 5, Rosalind's character gets fridged in service of Coulson's character development. So it may have been a long time since you guys have seen Buffy, but it did a very similar thing with the Giles character, who's kind of like the Coulson of that show. He gets into this relationship, and a former friend ends up killing her to strengthen Giles' resolve, to take the Giles character in a really hardcore direction. So that's basically what happened with Coulson's character. Now on Buffy, it was the Angel character, and I don't necessarily think that Ward is the Angel of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I think he's closer to Spike right now. But pushing Buffy aside, it's fun to think about Buffy when you think about other Joss Whedon shows, even though Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. technically is not a Joss Whedon show. It's his younger brother and his wife that are the showrunners. But Whedonverse is Whedonverse is Whedonverse. So if you guys actually want to go back and watch those old episodes of Buffy, those are from like the first 2 seasons, that Jenny Calendar character. The thing we need to talk about though is Rosalind's character. Like what's going to happen now that she's gone? She was one of the best new characters that they brought on this season. I've been so pissed when they killed her off. But I mean, I totally understand. Like they want to take Coulson in this hardcore direction, but it's kind of at the expense of this really awesome character. Of all the things the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. has been doing really well this season, I feel like some of its best material has come from these Coulson-Rosalind moments. So now that we don't have that anymore, I'm kind of defaulting to Fitz and Simmons as like the go-to team. S.H.I.E.L.D. itself is a team, but there's always going to be teams within teams. Like now we even have Daisy's Secret Warrior. So on to my number 4, WTF. Daisy's Secret Warriors actually becomes a thing, but it's only a team of 3, and it's just Joey and Lincoln. So they're finally paying this off, like Daisy's finally getting to go into action, albeit with slightly unstable Lincoln. Joey seems like he's really up for the task though. I like the moment with May's character where she's like, I don't know if Andrew was being honest or if Lash made this character assessment for Lincoln. They're just saying that Lincoln could fly off the handle, so there might be some collateral damage. But I feel like depending on where they leave things in the mid-season finale, they could be doing a lot more Secret Warriors related stuff in the back half of the season. It seems like that's the intention because they have this Inhuman army that Hydra's been trying to assemble and this mystery Inhuman king that they're trying to bring back. So of course, to fight powers, you need more powers, and that's where Secret Warriors comes in. So yay, everybody shake their fists, Secret Warriors. On to my number 3, WTF. Ward completes his journey to the dark side. Now, they still kind of want to make him sympathetic because they roll out his brother late in the episode. That did kind of feel like it came out of nowhere, but I love during Coulson's interrogations of the S.H.I.E.L.D. team members how Daisy talked about how Ward attaches himself to powerful father figures. So that's where Powers Booth, the Gideon Malik character, comes in on the show. He's like Ward's new dad. This is where we get to the Ward Kilgrave persona because they're both psychopaths for slightly different reasons. Like they both have different backstories, but they're acting out in very similar ways. Like the Gideon Malik character has to tell Ward, think about the big picture. Revenge is petty. Closure is overrated. Think about the big picture. We'll be able to do anything we want. Doesn't that just sound like a conversation that someone needs to have with Kilgrave? Look, you can control people's minds. Forget about Jessica Jones and think about the big picture. But Kilgrave and Ward both have these giant holes inside their souls that they're trying to fill. Something that's missing that they're trying to replace with other relationships. Maybe it's the childhood or the family they felt they never had. Kilgrave thinks that Jessica Jones is going to complete his life, give him everything that he thought he never had. Ward tried to do that with Daisy's character. He is clearly hung up on Coulson as a dad figure, which is why he's trying to hurt him so bad. He did the exact same thing with his real-life dad, which his younger brother talks about. Our dad was in a wheelchair. Who is he gonna hurt? Why did you need to kill him? So the real question is like, where does the Ward character go from here? I think a lot of that will depend on what goes down in the mid-season finale. Because the setup that they want you to buy into is that Hydra has control on this other planet. They're going to bring this big Inhuman back. He's super evil, and he's going to let Hydra do whatever they want. Now that feels like it's way too easy, so I'm expecting a couple of twists. But there are a couple really obvious twists that I don't want to immediately buy into. Like, oh, what if this mystery Inhuman king isn't evil and he turns on Hydra? Like, that would be the obvious reveal, so I'm not expecting that either. Usually what you find with really powerful mystery figures, like the Vision is a good example in Avengers Age of Ultron, is that they have a will of their own and they'll form temporary alliances. Like Vision doesn't completely swear fealty to Tony Stark, but he's like, look, you guys are better than Ultron, so I'm going to help you defeat Ultron because that's the logical outcome. The implication being that if the Avengers were to do something that Vision did not buy into, he would turn on them. So I'm expecting the same type of treatment from this really powerful Inhuman figure. Whatever he or she turns out to be, they're probably not going to be bound by this Hydra value system. So if you're going to expect anything, just expect a lot of collateral damage. Like Hydra will suffer a lot of losses, S.H.I.E.L.D. will suffer a lot of losses. On to my number 2 WTF. Speaking of losses, Coulson goes to Dark Coulson. I'm going to have to go off book. He passes directorship of S.H.I.E.L.D. to Mac, who probably isn't the best person for the job, so we'll see how that goes. But he kind of goes a little bit Doctor Who with his plan. There was this moment from a Doctor Who episode last week where the companion, Clara, said, Doctor 101, talk your enemies into their own trap. Doctor 102, never tell anyone your real plan. Now that's where the similarity ends, because that Doctor Who story ends in a very, very different way than I think that S.H.I.E.L.D. is going to end. But anytime the lead character is very open about not telling anyone their plans or misleading people, I think of Doctor Who. Rule number 1, the Doctor lies, and Coulson kind of is the Doctor of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Like he always has some secret plan, some way to win in the end, something that he's not telling you. And like the Doctor, Coulson just jumps into the mouth of hell without even thinking twice. So Coulson is now on that foreign planet. I know it looks like he's knocked out, but he'll totally wake up. And finally, on to my number 1 WTF. Fitz throws himself into the fire for Simmons. So like I said, I've been invested in them from day one. Like, they teased that very early on in season 1, even though they've kind of taken their time getting there. So anytime they twist the relationship knife, when they pit characters against each other, this is really where you feel it the most, just because they've taken so much time to develop those characters in their relationship. If it wasn't clear, Fitz said that he was going to just try and bring back Will. He'd try and prevent the Inhuman from coming back too. But the problem with that is they spent so much time developing this mystery powerful figure that I don't think that they would completely throw that plot away in the mid-season finale. So I kind of do feel like this mystery figure will make it back to Earth. Like they wouldn't set him up for so long and then not pay that off. But the twist I'm expecting is that it just won't go like Hydra expects it to go. And would it not be hilarious if Ward got trapped on that planet? Like he replaced Will as the person trapped on the planet. I will laugh so hard if they end up doing that. But let me know in the comments, what was your guys' favorite moment from the episode, and what do you think about Coulson and Roslin? I feel like them sitting down for burgers was the most relatable thing this season on the show. Just like two normal characters trying to share dinner together, trying to have a burger. Why is it that everything called All-American is terrible for you? I'm gonna miss that witty banter so hard. So even if you don't agree with some of the plot twists in the episode, I feel like some of these characters, they're doing really, really well. Coulson, Roslin, Fitz, Simmons. And I'll say the new character that I'm also really, really excited about is Joey. Like, we've seen so little from him, and I feel like there's a lot of potential, and I really like what the actor is doing with that character. So what's going to happen next is Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. mid-season finale next week. Shit goes down on the foreign planet. We'll probably get some really good answers about that mystery Inhuman figure. Hopefully we'll get to see them make landfall on Earth, and it will go crazy Secret Warriors for the rest of the season. Tonight is huge though. There is a full trailer for Batman vs Superman coming, and there is the second part of the big Arrow Flash crossover. I'll be doing videos for both of those. Be sure to subscribe to get everything. I'll just post them in the order that they finish. But you guys can follow me on Twitter and Facebook for updates on when videos are going to post. It'll all be happening later tonight. While you guys continue all your internal screaming, you can click here for the Arrow Flash crossover video from last night, and you can click here for my Captain America Civil War trailer, all my other Avengers videos. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Let's high five. I'll see you guys tonight.